Hello everyone. Most of you must have visited a fruit or vegetable market. So how do you make purchase there? You pay the amount and the vendor will immediately give you the required fruit or vegetable in return. This kind of transaction where you buy the goods at a prevailing market price for immediate or almost immediate delivery is what is called as a spot transaction, and the price that you pay is called as spot price. Now let's assume you are in the business of making strawberry jam and you require around 80 kgs of strawberries for the same. While the current market price is 60 rupees per kg, in the coming 3 months you expect this price to rise to 70 rupees per kg. This means you would be paying 10 rupees extra for every kilo of strawberries that you buy. So is there any way in which we can freeze the prices of strawberries in the present to buy them sometime later in the future? The answer is yes, and this can be made possible through futures. Futures are nothing but exchange traded derivative contracts between two parties to buy or sell an underlying commodity or asset at a predetermined price on a specific date in the future. Let's try and understand this in simpler terms using an example. In the previous scenario, you could enter into a futures contract in the present with the strawberry vendor to buy strawberries at the end of 3 months for a predetermined price of 60 rupees per kg. This predetermined price is called as the futures price. In this case, you have a long position while the vendor who has agreed to sell the strawberries to you in the future has a short position. On the date of expiration, which is 3 months from now, you would receive strawberries in a quantity that is agreed upon in the contract. Extending the same logic, you could enter into multiple standardized contracts that are traded on an exchange like the National Stock Exchange. And because the value of your contract is based on the underlying asset, which in this case is strawberry, it is a derivative contract. Also, the underlying asset in the contract could be anything from currency to commodities like cotton and rice to stocks, or even the futures representing a basket of stocks like the index futures. This might sound very interesting, right? However, this is not a concept that is very new. In fact, the history of futures traces its way back to 1730, where the earliest recognized futures trading exchange is the Dojima Rice Exchange in Japan. The Chicago Board of Trade, the New York Cotton Exchange, and the London Metals and Market Exchange were established in 1848, 1870 and 1877 respectively. On the other hand, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange started offering futures trading in foreign currencies in the 1970s. In India, the Bombay Cotton Trade Association was established in 1875 to trade in cotton contracts. Today, the futures market have far outgrown their agricultural origins. For instance, as you can see in this pie chart, the equity derivatives have a 93.8% share in the traded value in the secondary market during 2020 to 2021. Now the question is, who are the major participants in this market? There are 3 major participants in the futures market, namely the speculators, the hedgers and the arbitrageurs. Speculators are the risk takers. They bet on the possibility of a price movement. For instance, if I expect the market to move up, I would take a long position in the futures contract by locking in a purchase price today. Similarly, if I feel that the market may go down, I would be taking a short position. Hedgers, on the other hand, are the complete opposite. They want to mitigate the risk and protect their investment. Continuing with the same strawberry jam example, the vendor who shorts the futures contract to deliver 80 kgs of strawberries at 60 rupees per kg at a date 3 months from now has hedged the risk of price going down by locking in the contract price. On the other side, because you require strawberry as a raw material for manufacturing jam, you would take a long position, thereby aiming to lock in the cost of acquisition at 60 rupees per kg and thus hedging against the price increase. Coming to arbitrageurs, they try to make riskless profit from market inefficiencies. Typically, the arbitrager buys the underlying asset where it is cheaply available and simultaneously sells it in a market where it is highly valued. For instance, cash and carry arbitrage strategy can happen when the futures contract in the futures market trades for a higher price than the underlying asset itself in the spot market. In such a scenario, the trader takes a long position on the underlying asset in the spot market and opens a short position in the futures contract on the same asset, thus ensuring an already determined sale price. In addition to these participants, you also have an intermediary called as the clearinghouse. The clearinghouse acts as an intermediary in tracking all futures transactions and guarantees the performance of each of the parties to a transaction. Let's now look at some of the advantages and disadvantages of futures. One advantage is that futures are highly leveraged investments. To trade in futures, an investor has to put in a certain amount called margin amount with the broker or exchange. With just a fraction of money as margin, Investors can expose themselves to higher value stocks without actually buying the stock itself. Another advantage is that future markets are very liquid. The contracts are traded in huge numbers every day, and the involvement of clearinghouses and strong regulations add to the confidence of buyers and sellers. And since the contracts are also standardized, placing orders on their positions is also faster. Futures are also great for diversification or hedging. Companies that are engaged in foreign trade use futures to manage interest rate risk, price risk of commodities, and foreign exchange risk if they anticipate any unfavorable changes in these rates. However, futures can also come across as complicated products to many. Details like place of delivery, delivery month, size of contract, and position limits are also specified in the contract. Those new to this market might find it difficult to comprehend all these technicalities at once. And although futures can help you in hedging risk, one cannot have control over future events. For example, you could invest in rice futures, but good portion of the crops could get destroyed due to factors like bad weather conditions and natural calamities, thus impacting its spot market and future market prices. Also, while futures allow you to take greater exposure with little margin amount, this also means greater risk. That is, you could incur losses due to frequent price movements and receive a margin call from a broker advising you to refill your margin account since it has dropped below levels that are lesser than the required ones. Coming to the regulatory measures, futures contract is a type of contract, and like all other contracts, it is primarily regulated by the Indian Contract Act of 1872. The Forwards Market Commission, which was merged with SEBI in 2015, regulates the futures market in India. SEBI also works to protect the investors' interest in the stock market by ensuring that there is no scope of counterparty default in case of a futures contract. Signing off now with the hope that this video has helped you in your understanding of futures. Thank you.